times are tough, certainly all area are tough, close to 8 years. Now they're able to open up and having that community support around you and just going back to knowing that it is okay to speak up.
I think as teenagers and working with teenagers, it can be a really difficult topic to talk about. So we've had a focus today to check in on three mates and also check in on yourself.
Today, just put in the shorts for Stay Chatty and walk to work and quick brisk walk. And I've already a few comments in at the coffee shop.
While wearing shorts, coming together for events, or leading into the discussion, we collectively brought mental health conversations to the world.
Hello and welcome to Blundstone Arena, round 10 TSL action about to continue. I was about to say get underway, DALY, but we've got the Friday night game last night, which was a cracker at UTAS Stadium, but a huge game this afternoon between the Clarence Roos and the Lauderdale Bombers, both sides Eastern Shore rivals competing for the Speak Up Stay Chatty Cup. You are tuned in to the Daily Potato Co TSL live stream. My name is Anthony Osborne, excited to be bringing you this afternoon's action. Alongside me is the great Jacob Dool. DALY, great to have you on board.
Very good to be here, and as you say, it's a massive weekend of TSL footy. Friday night blockbuster, and then next day we've got the Stay Chatty Cup here. So plenty on the line for these two teams with a trophy and some important premiership points.
Of course, yeah, these two teams really looking to be, well, I guess Lauderdale really wanting to stop a bit of a rot that's set in the last couple of weeks. Losses that have really set them back a little bit, lost to Kingborough and also to North Launceston, while Clarence, they're still clambering around inside that top 4 and looking to keep a bit of pressure, particularly with North Launceston going down last night. It opens the door for them to really put a bit of pressure on and stay within the touch of the top couple of teams in the comp.
Definitely, there's a real opportunity here for both teams, as you say, for Clarence to jump up towards that top 3, and for Lauderdale, the pressure's on. If they lose here, they're suddenly a couple of games back of the top 4, and a lot of footy left in the season, but you definitely don't want to be caught on the back foot as we get towards that halfway mark.
Some interesting selection news throughout the week, Dooley. We saw Dan Wheeling at his press conference on Thursday really put a bit of a fire under his Lauderdale side and saying that he was going to be pretty swift with making some changes and really swinging the axe, so to speak. And he certainly did that with big Hayden Smith, the ruckman, and also Luke Patton making way out of the team. So it's going to mean that Sam Siggins, probably a fairly handy backup ruckman to have at your disposal, but he's going to do the bulk of the ruck work this afternoon. And I reckon, although those two players in Smith and Patton went out, I'm sure the other players in the team today have been put on notice.
Absolutely. I think they've just realised, don't they? They've got to try and light a bit of a spark here. And look, Siggins, I know against Kingborough, the game that I was calling there, he struggled to have an impact until he went in the ruck and then really made some good things happen. So I'm hoping to get 4 quarters of that from him today.
Young Sam Green for Clarence, he's been a real standout player for them so far, often competing outside of his weight division in the ruck, and he's probably able to play multiple roles across the ground, but he's going to have a big job to do this afternoon up against Sam Siggins as umpire Geeson just waits for players to get into their positions. Beautiful day here in Hobart, nice crisp May afternoon, a little chilly up here at the top of the Ponting stand up in the gods, but looking forward to bringing you this afternoon's action. Of course, North Hobart also playing Kingborough over at North Hobart Oval across the river. Make sure you stay across both games on the Daily Potato Co. TSL live streams as umpire Geeson throws the ball to start this Speak Up Stay Chatty Cup. Round 10 footy at Blundstone Arena. Immediately with hands on football, the Clarence Roos, a kick inside 50. It was a quick kick there from Howlett. The mark's been taken. Nice clearance to begin with here for Clarence, and if they can go back and hit the scoreboard early, it's Dylan Howlett, who was a late inclusion this afternoon, coming into the team. Able to hit the scoreboard here, it'll be the dream start for the Roos.
Yeah, a very nice one to settle the nerves for the late in if you can kick truly here.
So Dylan Howlett kicking right on the pane of 50, improves his angle, gets a bit of momentum behind the kick, it's on the way, always looking to the right-hand side, and that's exactly where it goes. One behind, Clarence open the scoring inside the opening minute here at Blundstone Arena. The stoppage contested game is going to be so vital this afternoon. Lauderdale with some big names around the ball and I guess the capacity to throw guys like McGuinness on ball if they need to. It was that man who kicked the ball out of defensive 50. Sam Green took to the skies, but illegally in the end. Sam Siggins will take the ball across half-back for the Lauderdale Bombers. Of course, dotting their Speak Up Stay Chatty jumper this afternoon with sort of blue tinge to it as well. That chipping kick goes over to Steinbauer. Steinbauer looks to take on a difficult kick. It's a good one. Into the middle finds Tilly. Tilly links up with Christensen. Christensen through the middle. A little too hot there for Marlin, but Marlin's going to swoop on the football. Handball's out wide to a runner. Lauderdale going to go inside 50 here. Magro's the target. Just slips through his hands. He's going to compete at ground level as Magro. Takes them over and out for a throw in.
Yeah, not the tidiest play there for Lauderdale, but it's good to see them moving with a bit of intent through the middle there. They're not always going to find that kick in the middle, but when they do, it can really open the game up here.
Yeah, it was a brave kick from Steinbauer, wasn't it, to really open up the ground for them. Got an opportunity here at half forward as the ball's tapped down. Players competing at ground level for both teams here. It's slapped forward inside 50 for Lauderdale. This is going to bring in the ground level players. Running around a couple of opponents, but eventually taken. Have another stoppage inside Lauderdale's attacking 50. As you said, beautiful day for football here, and a game with such importance for both teams. And of course, the Speak Up Stay Chatty Cup. Umpire's whistle is going to be a push in the back, I think. It is, so a free kick going the way of Lauderdale. Again, that pressure inside attacking 50. Just got the Clarence defenders a little bit nervous. It's going to be Bryce Walsh.
Yeah, we mentioned Lauderdale's power around the stoppages, and in a close contest like that, even inside 50, just done enough to get the opposition a little bit nervous and concede the free kick.
So Bryce Walsh, former captain of this Lauderdale outfit. He'll kick from 40 metres out. The kick's on the way for Bryce Walsh. It looks good off the boots. Just missing to the left-hand side. So Lauderdale on the scoreboard for the first time this afternoon. Clarence quick to repel the ball out of defensive 50. Strong mark taken as they link up. Jared Harper shrugs one tackle. Does well, Harper. His handball's a little too hot, but he comes back in and mops up his own work. Jared Harper inside 50 for the Roos. The target's there. Unable to take the mark. On that occasion was Ryan, eventually seen over and out for a throw-in. Keegan Ryan pleading his case with the umpire, but it's going to be over and out. Free kick in the end. Not sure, might have been in retaliation from the comments from Ryan, but Lauderdale have the ball across half-back.
Not sure what the call was there, but important opportunity for Lauderdale to rebound here. Clarence also looking to get forward and attack really quickly.
Great body work there from Sam Siggins. Takes the mark and he's off to the races. Waits for a runner. So that's his teammate a little bit of work to do, but the loopy handball over the top is a good one. Brings Williams into the game. He kicks inside 50 for Lauderdale. It was a bit of a hospital kick. Clarence defender coming in from behind. Lots of players around this footy. So after that initial inside 50 entry from the Roos, it's Lauderdale able to get a couple of repeat entries here. They'll be hoping to really hit the scoreboard here as Siggins wins it out of the ruck himself. Agriculturally kicks the ball around the body. Strong defensive effort here from the Roos. Again, Lauderdale just hunting in packs at the moment, putting the pressure on the Clarence defenders. The umpire will take it once again. I think that's the sort of intent Dan Willing would have been after the last couple of performances.
Absolutely, they've brought some good energy here, and I think this is where having Siggins in the ruck can be dangerous. We saw him take it out of the ruck in that last one. Let's get involved here.
Green tried to do it on that occasion for Clarence. Umpire's ball once more. Just operating a bit of a phone box here are the two teams. Who can break free from this tussle? Green tries to take the ball himself, unable to do so cleanly. This is going to be a big ball to win. James Holmes was there for Clarence. It's going to be Hooker competing for Lauderdale. The reinforcements eventually come through. Norton, but that's a crunching tackle from Sam Tilley. Magnificent tackle from Tilley. Great closing speed to wrap Norton up, and now Tilley's going to kick the ball to a dangerous spot inside 50. A probing ball. Again, the runners are going to be involved. Bryce Walsh, hard as ever. Taken, it's going to be holding the footy. Looks like Bryce Walsh spending more time forward of centre this afternoon, Jacob. You know what he's going to do all afternoon is just that. He's going to attack hard and really throw himself at everything. Wiley begins the switch now for Clarence. Great to see Keegan Wiley back out there this year, and the Roos just look a little bit rattled here, Dooley. Uncharacteristic, almost unforced error. Lauderdale tried to play it on quickly, but they'll eventually bring it back in. High ball towards the goal face. It was actually a shot on goal, through for a minor score. So Lauderdale certainly having the better of the opportunities the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, and Clarence just struggling to find a way to break clear of this defensive zone here. They're trying to take on the few sort of attacking kicks, and that hasn't worked yet, so it'll be interesting to see if they change the approach here.
Wiley brings the ball out for Clarence. That's a beautiful kick from Wiley. Finds Green. Green's going to kick into the middle of the ground. Goes through the hands of his intended target. Ends up landing in the arms of a teammate in Burgess. A bit of confusion from a couple of the players. Looks like he's going to be a 50-metre penalty. So a little bit of ill discipline there from Lauderdale. It's going to put Clarence into a dangerous spot. Kick and a half away from goal. Quick handball off. That brings Howlett into the game. He's had a couple of looks already. A probing kick for goal, but just touched and through for a minor score.
Might have been touched by his teammate there in the end. A little bit unlucky. I don't think he realised how much space was behind him for that ball to roll on.
So 2 behinds apiece early doors here at Blundstone Arena. Both sides just feeling their way into this contest at the moment. Just looking a little bit cagey as Lauderdale lock themselves into the back pocket here. Eventually back to McGuinness. Lauderdale captain has the short option, finds Christensen. Christensen back to McGuinness, who's just stuffing his stat sheet nice and early in this one as he kicks the ball out of defensive 50. The target's there. It's Siggins, takes the mark and he's off. Second or third time we've seen Siggins do that this afternoon. He hoists the ball towards half forward. A strong mark taken there by Blackburn. Blackburn wheels and goes, drives it inside 50 now. Magro's going to be the target, but instead the mark's taken in front of Magro. Lauderdale moving the ball at pace, and they've now set themselves up with another opportunity to hit the scoreboard.
They're definitely looking the more likely team moving forward, aren't they? Some good decisive bold movement. Another tough shot here, but they're giving themselves a chance.
So Lauderdale looking to draw first blood this afternoon. The kick's on the way. Umpire has to do a fair bit of work, and it's punched through for a minor score. Again, that quick ball movement, and Siggins taking that mark as that outlet kick is really putting Clarence under the pump, really.
Yeah, absolutely. We knew Siggins is going to be the key. He has been so far here, and his teammates doing a good job of utilising it.
This ball bouncing towards centre wing, over and out. It's going to be a throw in. If the crowd's starting to build in for this one. Of course, Clarence, plenty of fans up in the members area as well. Important day for the club, important day for the footy community with the Speak Up Stay Chatty Cup. I'll have a chat with Mitch McPherson at quarter time as well. Ball's thrown into play. One down by Green. Sutton first to it, just pushed out of his reach. Over and out for another throw in. Certainly hasn't been a quarter to write home about to this point, Jacob, but certainly an arm wrestle, and it's going to be fascinating to see which side's able to break this game open the earlier. They go a long way towards putting themselves in a good position as Siggins funnels it back to Williams. Williams with a chipping kick up towards the wing. Right on the edge of the boundary line. There's going to be a free kick going the way of the Lauderdale Bombers. Just favouring that outer side. The kick in board finds Christensen. Christensen cuts in again. Lauderdale with plenty of runners through the middle of the ground as Stanley links up once more, kicks it towards half forward. Magro again the target. Takes the mark on this occasion, Jaden Magro, who's got some options on, but he's just taking his time. Jaden Magro, one of the recruits of the year so far. He opts to go really wide, does Jaden Magro. Lauderdale players can raffle it between themselves. Sutton takes the footy. Sutton goes short. Nice hit-up kick. Finds Bryce Walsh.
An interesting kick there from Magro. I'm not sure what he was going for off the boot, but he's done well to just hold up the play there. Lauderdale moved on quickly here, and there'll be a ping from outside 50, but no luck. But as we said, they're getting the ball inside 50. They're just not creating too many clear chances.
Chaos ball out of defensive 50 now for the Roos. Drives them towards half forward. It's going to be a foot race up to the boundary line. Lauderdale with the numbers as they stop and settle. Certainly looking to move the ball quickly here, Lauderdale, as they cut it right across. Stanley drops the mark. Does well to regain his composure. Chips it up to Nat Franklin. Franklin on the broadcast side of the ground. Stops and props, called to play on, runs himself in a little bit of trouble. Does well to get around his opponent. Chips it down the line to find Fletcher Hooker. Part of the Devils program, young Fletcher Hooker, one of the young stars of this Lauderdale outfit. He's played some really good games so far this year. He's probing ball towards half forward. Walsh is at the back of the pack. He just chips it, but only as far as Sam Green. Doing what big men should do, filling the hull. He chips it out wide. Links up with Swinton. Swinton takes his full measure. His kick isn't to the favour of his intended target. It's eventually seen over and out for a throw in. So we know Clarence like to move the ball really quickly and take a lot of risks, and it seems like Dan Willing might have been urging his troops to fight fire with fire today, Jacob. Certainly what Lauderdale look to be doing as well.
Absolutely. We've had a couple of little stretches of just back and forth action, but in the end, Lauderdale have had the better of it. They just need to try and take advantage.
Great job there to halve that 2-on-1. Ball goes out of bounds once again. Give you a couple of score updates throughout the afternoon from North Hobart Oval. Of course, the Tassie Devils also in action up north this afternoon against the Eastern Rangers. Big game, that one. The Eastern Rangers headed up by a player you might know, Travis Cloak. DALY, he's in charge of the Rangers program, so we'll take a look at the scores from that one a little bit later on as well. James Holmes runs himself in a bit of trouble, just funnels the handball out wide. Clarence with some numbers, but every disposal just being put under immense pressure. Sam Green does well for a big man, gets down to ground level and takes the ball, but his ball is chopped off across half forward. Williams retreats a long way back to McGuinness as they look to commence the switch here. McGuinness chips it to Stanley. Stanley playing almost half back by the looks of it this afternoon. Stanley kicks back inboard. Once again, they're looking to do this, Lauderdale. Harry Richmond takes the ball, quick to play on. It wasn't his best kick, but it's going to work out. The Bombers with some runners out wide. Grabbing ball inside the middle of the ground, finds Franklin. Franklin dishes it back. The Lauderdale players just consistently moving at the moment. Trying to get Clarence caught on the hop. That kick is going to be marked by Swinton. Bit of almost circle work at the moment from the two teams. There's that last kick inside 50 letting both of them down.
Yeah, and I think Clarence, even though there hasn't been much happening further up the ground for them, they'd have to be happy with the way their defence is holding up here. And with the way the general play's gone, they'd have to be happy only being a point down too.
Once again, the ball's going to be mopped up by the Lauderdale half-back line. Long handball back, and Lauderdale will look to reset once again. Chipping kick out wide. They might be out on this occasion, Lauderdale. Look to reload again. Kick in board, and almost marked on the second grab. Wasn't quite. Nice work there by the Clarence defender. The umpire will probably take this ball. He will. Umpire Butler. Played almost 14 minutes, and neither side able to kick a goal yet. Quite uncharacteristic from both of these outfits, given their form this year, but it just speaks to the unwrestled nature of how this game's being played. Great movement through the stoppage there for Lauderdale. Chipping kick towards half forward. There's plenty of bodies around this football. Clarence with the numbers. Eventually try and get the ball out, but it's going to be an illegal disposal. It's a throw. So Lauderdale have an opportunity here. Kick and a half away from goal. A long ball inside 50 now for Lauderdale. Siggins is going to be the target, but he's caught at the back of the pack, and a brave mark taken. It's a really nice grab. As Clarence looked to repel from defensive 50 once again. Another good mark taken. It's just kick to kick at the moment as McGuinness takes the ball inside the middle of the ground. McGuinness launches inside 50 for Lauderdale. Where are the Flyers? Pushing the back. I thought it might have been an unrealistic attempt perhaps, but it's going to be a free kick going the way of the Lauderdale Footy Club. And it's Michael Blackburn, Jacob Bill.
Yeah, my assumption there is the same as yours. I think that was going to be for the fly over the top, but I spotted a little nudge in there somewhere, and I think this is the best chance we've seen for a goal in this game.
So Michael Blackburn, he's only going to be kicking from about 30 metres out, but he's got that classic Ben Brown sort of run up where he's going to go from almost the centre square. Michael Blackburn starting to really find his feet back in TSL football this year at Lauderdale. His kick is on the way, straight through the middle. The former Clarence Roo draws first blood this afternoon. Lauderdale 1-3-9, lead Clarence 2 behinds.
I think the Bombers would have felt like they needed to get some rewards soon for some of the play they've had. It took more than 15 minutes, and for the bulk of that 15 minutes, they were the ones making all the running forward. But finally got that goal on the board, a little buffer here, and interesting to see if Clarence can respond quickly. We saw them get a good clearance out of the first centre bounce. We're hoping something similar here so they can hit back in pretty quick fashion.
Yeah, you're dead right. It's unusual that this is the first centre bounce we're going to have since that opening line. We've played almost 16 and a half minutes of football. 7 points the difference, and Mickey Blackburn makes the most of his opportunity. Might just be one of those days, Jacob. Just make the most of your opportunities. It's going to go a long way. Inside the middle of the ground, Clarence again get the clearance. Bouncing ball eventually tumbles inside 50, but Lauderdale have the numbers. McGuinness' kick out wide, so it's a bit of a task. Shaw's up to it. He was up to it. Just got the handball away, but great defensive pressure from Colin Garland. And that Oscar Shaw-Colin Garland matchup, that'll be a crucial one this afternoon.
Garland's had a great start to the season, hasn't he? And tough guy to stop, so that'll be big, as you say.
And Oscar Shaw, he's probably played a sneaky amount of games now. Young former Devil. They're just one of the better young defenders in the comp. Bouncing ball across the wing here. Sawford links up, eventually finds Franklin. Franklin opts to go by hands to Richmond. Harry Richmond kicks the ball inside 50. Magro's going to be the target. Well defended there by Swinton. Gets Paprotny into the contest. He dishes it back to Swinton, and well done, the Clarence Roos once again holding firm, and they're going to turn this into an attacking foray now through Howlett. Takes a bounce, thought about going one way, eventually went the other and just tumbles a kick inside 50. Oscar Shaw, it just bounces away from him. Colin Garland swoops on the football, dishes a handball out, and it hits the post. A golden opportunity for the Roos, but a kick there, third behind of the afternoon. Felt for Oscar Shaw there. He did the right thing attacking the ball, but it just bounced the wrong way on him. It was a leg break. Lauderdale chip the ball out of defence, but it's going to come back with some interest here. Wall, handballs over the top to Baxter Norton. Norton tries a squaring ball. Lauderdale again just tumble the ball out of defensive 50, but again Clarence have the numbers here. Dylan Fife robes the ball really well. Helicopter kick isn't going to help them too much though. This ball's going to come back with interest. They Set up here, Lauderdale, just holding Clarence up. But again, it's going to be probing ball inside 50. The target at the back, Garland unable to take the mark. Again, we've seen Siggins and Garland at either end, just perhaps with one or two players behind in the contest, and probably wouldn't want to be one of the defenders standing in the way of a Garland or a Siggins, but they've done well so far.
I don't think I'd be staying in the way for long if I was there. They can both do a fair bit of damage coming through those packs, and Garland almost able to pluck that one, even with some traffic in front of him.
Cries for holding the ball, but the umpire will take it once more. Almost 19 minutes gone in this opening term. Nice tap over the top, but Lauderdale with the numbers. Driving kick. Gets them out of defensive 50. Ball to win on the wing. Clarence linking up well through hands. Handball eventually gets out to Preshaw. Shrugs one tackle. Just working the ball by hands here are the Roos. Eventually Nat Franklin's going to emerge with the football for Lauderdale though. He gets the handball out wide to Dylan Fife. Back to Nat Franklin. Franklin quick to move the ball on. The umpire's whistle. It's going to be for a push. Obviously no advantage being paid, so Nicky Blackburn will take the free kick. Quick score update from North Hobart Oval. Tigers leading that one early, 2-3-15 to 1-2-8. Kick over the top finds Christensen. Christensen looks to square the ball, does well. Spots a target. There's a couple of cries there for impeding on the mark, but the umpire allows it to play on, gives the advantage. So Lauderdale now will look to set themselves for goal. Ball in hand, it's Hooker. Kicking from outside 50, improves the angle though. The kick's on the way, it's going to go right to the goal line. Players fly. Mark's eventually taken, a really good grab by Green. High kick in the direction of Garland. Flying over the top was Williams for Lauderdale. Sutton at ground level, taken in the Colin Garland tackle. Rinse and repeat. Garland just starting to impact the contest a little bit in recent minutes, Dooley.
Yeah, and working his way up the ground here as well, which if the ball's not getting forward, he needs to find a way to sort of inject himself into the play, and that could make a bit of a difference for Clarence.
Walsh taking in the tackle. And Ryan doing the tackling on that occasion. So a few technical difficulties with the scoreboard, but it should be back up and running for you now as Siggins emerges with the football. Kicks it inside 50 here for Lauderdale. There are a lot of Clarence players around the ball, but it's going to spill. Shot on goal. Touched footy. What a score. So that was a 3-on-1 there, and Lauderdale player, the one, eventually able to bring the ball to ground. Clarence just look a little bit rattled at the moment. You were dead right a few minutes ago. They're just unable to get that second kick out of defensive 50.
Yeah, they looked okay again once they got that centre clearance after the first goal and could lock it in forward, but they were struggling to get it there at all in the first place.
Strong grab taken there. That's a really good mark by Harry Burgess. Burgess stops and props, eventually drives the ball down the line. Strong fist there by Garland. That opens up the ground here. It's going to kick inside 50. Again, a bit of a wasted entry from the Roos. It's a flood of Bombers. McGuinness is going to be first to the footy. McGuinness kicks the ball out wide to Stanley. That's, again, I reckon Peter Ryan's going to have a message at quarter time just to lower the eyes and set up for a target rather than just blazing away.
Yeah, I think that told a bit of a story. We've praised the defensive work of Clarence, but they haven't put so many players behind the ball that when they do break forward, there's no one there to kick to.
You just mentioned before, Garland pushing right up the ground as well, and he was involved in getting that ball into space and into the running part of the player. But again, if he's away from home, he's going to be in some trouble as Green chips the ball over the top. Here's an opportunity for Clarence. Again, that kick towards 50 just sees them breaking down. Eventually, the ball will be taken right to the boundary line. Strong tackle laid by Trent Hope. So 7 points the difference after 23 minutes. Mickey Blackburn, only goal scorer so far. One down on that occasion by Wall. The umpire will take it once again. Siggins wins it down. Harper dives in for Clarence, right on the boundary line. Eventually rolls over and out. So I think the boundary umpires and the field umpires are going to be earning their wage today. Totally lots of stoppages. Siggins wins it down, but only as far as Preshaw. Preshaw's kick inside 50 sets up an opportunity now for the Clarence Roos. A kick around the corner from Howlett. Just goes through the hands of Garland. Minor score.
I feel like the way this game's gone so far, those kind of chances for Garland where you can get 2 hands on the footy, they have to stick for the most part.
It just snuck through his hands, didn't it? It was a good ball from Kieran Howlett. That's a lot of Sam Siggins, that kick, but he does well. Certainly one of the better players on the ground so far. He chips the ball to Christensen. Again, looks to be playing more on ball this afternoon. Christensen's kick, though, goes as far as Green. The 2 big men have been amongst the better players on the ground, Siggins and Green, as the siren sounds for what was an interesting opening term. Clarence, 4 behinds, Lauderdale, 1-4-10. Dooley, it's probably not a quarter to write home about from an aesthetic standpoint, but we've certainly got an arm wrestle on our hands.
Absolutely. It's set up an interesting rest of the day here. Lauderdale felt like it had the better of the play for the most part there, but break through a fairly sturdy Clarence defence. Going back the other way, Clarence really struggling to generate much of anything, so there'll be a lot for both coaches to talk about at the break here, I think.
Yeah, I think that last kick inside 50 is going to be a really crucial talking point for both of the sides heading into this opening break. Clarence, they're 4 behind. Lauderdale 1-4-10 would usually run through the goal kickers, but it's a pretty easy one so far. Mickey Blackburn with 1. That's all she wrote to this point. So quarter time, round 10 footy on the Daily Potato Co. TSL live stream. It's the Southern Bombers leading by 1 straight kick. We'll take a short break, and Mitch McPherson from Speak Up Stay Chatty will be up right next. Welcome back to the Daily Potato Co. TSL live stream at Blundstone Arena, the Speak Up, Stay Chatty Cup. Between Clarence and Lauderdale, we've got an arm wrestle on our hands. The Southern Bombers leading by one straight kick at the first break, but it's a day that's about far more than just the game of football that's happening out on the green stuff. We've got Mitch McPherson from Speak Up, Stay Chatty jumping on the call with us for the moment. Mitch, thanks for jumping on board, and I suppose congratulations on another event, 9 years running now for the Speak Up, Stay Chatty Cup.
Yeah, it is. Thanks so much for having me, mate. I think it was a fair hike getting up those stairs. I needed a breather before we jumped on, but no, it's a really special day for our team, and we had a luncheon down in the Clarence rooms. But it's as you said, it's 9 years. It's special for our our family as well. It's been a hell of a journey this last 9 years. So these days are always nice to celebrate and to see that we've still got amazing support.
I suppose the Clarence and the Lauderdale football clubs, I know they mean a lot to in your family. I suppose, what is the significance of this day for you and for your family, and I guess the collaboration between the two clubs as well?
Totally, yeah. I mean, I played my juniors and then went back and played, my late teens and early 20s as well, and my brother played for both clubs. So they were the two first organisations, I suppose, when I had this little idea after losing Ty in 2013 to not only embrace what I was doing, but to have the round and encourage their players to learn more about mental health. So yeah, look, it's actually a bit of a hard day. It's nice to see all this and the signage around the place and the clubs playing for the cup. But yeah, it's on these sorts of days I always stop and think at times that it's all here because my little brother isn't here anymore, which is tough. But that's my journey now. I do this because we lost him and hope that it helps other people.
I suppose as you said, the efforts of the two clubs to really embrace this. I suppose the messages that you give to these clubs, and I suppose the messages that Speak Up, Stay Chatty promotes in the community, I suppose the chance for everyone to stop and think about mental health and about speaking up and staying chatty is really important in a sporting context particularly.
Totally, yeah, and I said that in the luncheon below. It's a great opportunity here today. Our logos plastered all over the place to see the logos on the Lauderdale jumpers. It's important today to not just think, it's great they're supporting Stay Chatty, but throughout the day to stop and think about it. How can you, how you travel? Have you been bogged down a little bit more than you would have liked to lately? Do you need a conversation? But also a timely reminder to keep your radar out for anyone around you that you care about that might be struggling, and to just hopefully feel a little bit more comfortable because of today, to reach out and have a conversation.
Obviously from such a tragic circumstance, but across the 9 years of the Speak Up, Stay Chatty Cup, and I suppose Stay Chatty really becoming a major part of the Tasmanian community, how have you seen the conversations about mental health changing from your perspective?
They've definitely shifted 100%. I mean, I walk into places now that are male-dominated workforces with blokes 50, 60 plus and think, how lucky am I to have this opportunity to try and shape the way these blokes look at mental health, because back in the day that never ever would have happened. But we never rest on our laurels. We've come a long way and there's lots of great things happening, but there's still a lot of people struggling. There's still a lot of people not knowing where they can get help, and there's still, sadly, too many people taking their own life. So we'll keep working hard and hopefully keep making a difference.
And how can those at home and those in the community support Stay Chatty moving forward?
Yeah, there's plenty. We've got our short stay on June 21, so jump online and register for that. Our ball's coming up, or engage us to come to your school, workplace or community group. But yeah, follow us on socials or head to the website staychatty.com.au.
Thanks for jumping on board, Mitch, and congratulations on everything that you're doing in this space. And I guess on the football this afternoon, you've got a tip for us this game, getting balance at the moment?
I'm a smart man. I always go for the home side because I'm surrounded by people that are going for that club. So get on the ruse next year and then ask me again next year.
Yeah, wise move, I think. Thanks, Mitch. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate
and hope the rest of the day goes well.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Second quarter underway here at Blundstone Arena. Thank you again to Mitch McPherson from Speak Up, Stay Chatty for jumping on board. It's such a special day on the footy calendar here in the TSL, and a game that the two clubs have really embraced as Green hacks a kick towards half forward here for Clarence. Lauderdale's defence holding up fairly resolutely. They'll be rewarded with a free kick. Ben Steinbauer. Julie, what are you expecting to see in this second term?
I think the Bombers will have to come out firing here. The coaches would have, I think, still not been happy with their execution going forward, so looking to tidy that up a little bit. And for Clarence, they just need to try and find something inside 50, some sort of target.
So Christensen providing a bit of run there, but the ball was a little too hot to handle. Eventually it's going to be over and out for a throw in. Now, just mentioned before that the Tassie Devils were playing in the NAB League earlier today. Julie, I believe that might have been a bit of a heart stopper.
Yeah, a 1 point win for the Devils in the end, and North Launceston's Brandon Leary kicking a goal with the last kick of the game. to win it, his third for the day. So really fantastic win for some of the future stars of Tasmanian footy.
I'm sure the great Harry Bomford was feeding you some updates on that contest. Shout out to Harry. Here at Blundstone Arena, Christensen has the ball at half forward. His kick into traffic. He goes as far as Harper. Paprotny does really well to hold his ground, but the handball only goes as far as Tilly. Christensen sweeps it back. The umpire had to do a bit of ducking and weaving himself. A kick inside 50, spilled by Walsh. Hacks the kick around the body. It's bouncing towards goal. It won't be through. Luke Swinton sees it over for a rush behind.
Not exactly a textbook entry inside 50, but once again, it's the Bombers that seem to be making all the running early here. They'll again have a chance here on the intercept. So Clarence still really struggling to find that kick out of defence. Can't find an easy target outside 50, and it's going to be the Bombers once again with a fairly tough shot for goal here, but with another opportunity to extend this lead. It's just narrow again, so a lot of kicks from those tight angles out on the 50-metre arc, and all having pretty much the same result so far. It's taking it a little bit slower here. Should kick into the pocket to Preshaw. Look to unload and send it outside 50 again. Easy fly there for James Hunt, but he can't quite hold it. Goes by hand now. Brackets to go forwards. It's an up and under kick right out wide onto the wing, and that's going to be an uncontested mark for the Bombers there. Bodie Kingston kicks in board. Lauderdale once again have the ball on the wing here to go forward. Middle. Clarence again seem to have the numbers at the contest here, but Lauderdale managed to bring it down. And that is a fantastic kick across the body there. Second goal of the day.
Yeah, beautiful finish there. Ryan, it's been a bit of a frenetic start to the quarter, hasn't it, Jacob? It's just been all pinballing everywhere, I guess, across that half-forward line for Lauderdale, and eventually they're able to capitalise, and just they'll now look at this as an opportunity that Clarence's defence has been holding up really resolutely. If they can kind of break down the dam and break the barrier, hopefully it can lead for their sake onto an onslaught of goals.
And that's the sort of opportunistic goal that could maybe spark a bit more action for them. It wasn't anything easy still there. It's another tough chance, but might just give them a little bit of momentum moving forward. Siggins again having an impact, and that's the clearance for his team. He's looking to move very quickly here. Tilly sends it inside 50 to the top of the goal square. Strong mark in defence though.
It's been good, Luke Swinton. Competing well, above his size a lot of the time as well. It's a really good mark from him. Harper now has the ball. He goes out wide to Wiley. Just being held up here are the Roos. Wiley stops and props, eventually kicks the ball down the line. Garland's there, but flying high with Steinbauer, unable to pull it in. Competing at ground level, the ball's tied up against the boundary line. Paprotny, I reckon that was pretty close to being over and out. Some good strong tackle pressure. Eventually will result in a throw-in. Ball's thrown in directly in front of us. Siggins takes it himself. Looking for an option, eventually finds Nat Franklin. Franklin back to Stanley. Stanley finds a bit of space. Does well, Ed Stanley. Stops and he kicks towards half forward. Swinton again get his hands on the football. He kicks in the middle of the ground. It's a good one, but it was just spilled at the last moment there by his teammate. Brings the Lauderdale players into the game. A nice, smart handball there from Franklin. Found Williams. Now the runner kicks inside 50. Last line of defence for the Roos being put under the pump, but James Beerley shows a bit of composure and kicks it in. But once again, Josh Williams getting involved and halves the contest, over and out for a throw-in.
Yeah, Lauderdale once again just bringing a lot of heat around these contests as Clarence tried to move the ball out of the defensive 50.
So ball thrown in on the outer side. Siggins again competing at ground level, taking in a tackle. Just kind of looking for someone to really break this game open from a Clarence perspective. Midfield Bulls have been solid, but not able to completely take control of the game so far. That's a good grab, I thought, running back with the flight, but he's urged to play on. The kick finds Jaden Magro, and Lauderdale have another opportunity to hit the scoreboard.
Opportune moment there for Magro. So the rush kick forced by the call from the umpire to play on, but a game like this, you need a little bit of luck to go your way, and at the moment it all seems to be going the way of the Bombers.
It just fell on his lap in the end, Magro, but he's still a fair bit of defensive pressure coming his way, so he had to hold his ground well. And the former Waffle and NTFL player, Jaden Magro, has an opportunity to hit the scoreboard almost directly in front. 40 metres out by the time he kicks the football. Jaden Magro begins his approach to goal, gets pretty close to the man on the mark, but the umpire had to do a fair bit of work, hits the upright for a minor score. Just peppering the goal face here on Lauderdale, 2-7-19. 9 scoring shots to 4 so far. As Keegan Wiley launches from offensive goal square. Siggins flies high, unable to take the mark. Does well at ground level though, brings a runner into the game. It's a hacked kick inside 50 now for Lauderdale. It spills to the back of the pack. Eventually hits the behind post for a boundary throw in. Dangerous spot if you're a Clarence defender.
I know we've mentioned him a fair bit already, but Siggins really has a massive difference here. He's just everywhere across that half-forward line. Every time that Clarence feel like they might get it clear, he just seems to pop up and win the ball back.
Ball's thrown into play. Green competing in the ruck against Richmond on that occasion. Ball spills out wide. Tied up against the boundary line. Garland's there for Clarence. I reckon he might have been in fringe with he was. So Colin Garland will take the free kick. It's a big kick from Garland that opens the ground right up, but it's marked by Ed Stanley, who's putting together a pretty solid game. He goes across to Sutton. Sutton out wide to Hooker. Fletcher Hooker kicks the ball inside 50 in the Blackburn direction. Mickey Blackburn, vice-like grip, takes the mark. That's a fantastic grab under pressure from Mickey Blackburn.
He's made a few things happen, hasn't he, Blackburn? Obviously got the only goal of the day so far. Fantastic mark there to set up another opportunity.
It was a nice ball from Fletcher Hooker as well, just kicking it in his favour. He had 2 players to beat, and he's always been a really good reader of the football, Mickey Blackburn. Back in his Clarence TSL days and his Lindisfarne SFL days, but he's certainly looking at home in the red and black of Lauderdale as to take some of his better work. Tied up against the pocket, Mickey Blackburn for goal! Magnificent kick, one finger salute, and he likes it as well. Blackburn gets his second, and Lauderdale finally break through and get their 3rd goal of the afternoon.
Far from an easy shot once again. They're finding some marks inside 50 out towards the boundaries, and full credit to Michael Blackburn. He's taken full advantage there, even from the tight angle.
He's just starting to really find a bit of form, Mickey Blackburn. He started the year relatively well, but just seems to be improving, I guess, really, if anything, from a confidence standpoint over the last couple of weeks, and really backing himself to fly for those marks and backing himself in to have a shot for goal. He knows this ground really well. I reckon our head honcho, Damien Gill, will probably be claiming that that's his goal, because I think a few years ago he had a little kicking contest with Mickey Blackburn and Chris Rowbottom, and I think that was one of the shots that they had to kick for goal. So Damien Gill will claim that he's taught Blackburn his ways as Preshaw kicks the ball in the Holmes direction on the outer side. High contact, says the umpire, so a free kick going the way of James Holmes, the leader of this Clarence outfit, former Richardson medalist. Chips it down the line. Strong mark taken there. Kick in board. It was very clever work there by McGuinness, just kicking the ball out of thin air, but it's going to land in the arms of Wiley, who kicks it to a dangerous spot at half forward. Nice mark taken by Trent Hope. Hope chips it into the pocket. Clarence with the numbers at ground level. Garland shrugs one tackle, screws the kick around the body. Just sneaks through for a minor score. Just no clean entries for Clarence so far. No clean looks at goal. It looks like they're going to have to, if they are going to hit the scoreboard with the major, it almost looks like it's going to need to be an effort like that from Garland, which is obviously low percentage.
Yeah, absolutely. They've struggled to find anything easy in the air inside 50, so bringing the ball to ground level like that and trying to scrap something through might be their best option at this stage.
Harry Richmond takes the ball at half back. Another former Clarence player now down the peninsula at Lauderdale as he chips the ball down the line. A couple of players fly. Tilly just got a hand to it. Brings Dylan Fife into the game. Fife for the handball to Tilly. Going to be a push in the back. Advantage paid, and they're off to the races now. Salford kicks in the direction of Siggins. Siggins, he probably didn't need to do that, but he's kicked the goal from the goal line, and it's through for a minor score. A comedic finish to that goal, but a really good build-up, and it was all started. I think it was Sam Tilly who got his hand to that ball, just kept the ball in motion. It was a nice kick from the youngster Salford to the in favour of Sam Siggins.
Yes, a really nice play from the younger brigade for the Bombers, and you know what you're going to get from Siggins when he's in the goal square there, one out. The finish, as you say, maybe not textbook.
I was going to say, I reckon you know what you're going to get when it comes to taking the mark. Probably not when it comes to the goal. That was an interesting choice. Made the easiest of goals a hell of a lot more difficult, but no mistake in the end.
Interesting to see Siggins staying down in the goal square now. He's done a lot of good stuff in the middle of the ground, but Lauderdale just flicking the magnets around again, looking for something a bit different.
It's Richmond in the ruck against Green. Green wins it down decisively. Mops up his own work at ground level, does Green, but he's just harassed off the football. Handball out wide to Sutton. Lauderdale going to go inside 50 once again. Blackburn the target. I reckon he's been pushed. He has. Nicky Blackburn. Being a real focal point for them inside 50. It's a nice kick from Sutton. Now Blackburn goes back on his Ben Brown style run up. We'll have a look for goal number 3.
Suddenly things seem to be becoming a little bit easier for the Bombers inside 50. Feeling that it's going to need to shift the momentum here or the floodgates could really open.
So Michael Blackburn. Kick is on the way. He's allowed that to move beautifully, Mickey Blackburn. And doesn't he love it? He's given the double cobra. Every player's coming towards him. Blackburn kicks his 3rd. And he just weighted that ball beautifully. I thought he may have kicked it a little too far out to the left, but just allowed for the breeze. And in the end, it was massaged perfectly through the big sticks.
As he said, he knows this ground well, doesn't he? And it showed there, all that experience kicking goals here. Made that look very easy.
So all of a sudden, things are looking really dangerous for the hosts. They're 5 behinds. Clarence 5-7-37. The Roos really needing to get a hurry on now in the middle. Siggins competing in the ruck. Ball funneled forward by Marlin. Clarence with the numbers. They kick the ball towards half forward. Green's there. Traps the ball under his spell really well. Gets it off to Preshaw. Preshaw inside 50. Garland at the back of the pack. Takes the mark. Didn't get sucked into competing at the contest. Held his ground and took the mark on the second grab.
That's a smart read, isn't it, from Garland? Experienced player, so it's no surprise. But as you say, he just didn't get drawn into the contest. Knew the ball might fly out the back. This is his first real clear-cut opportunity here, Colin Garland.
Really important goal this for the Clarence Roos. Colin Garland kick the Roos opening goal of the game. He does. It's taken until the 15-minute mark of the second term, but the Roos are on the board. 1-5-11 to Lauderdale 5-7-37, and it's an understatement to say that they really needed that one.
Absolutely, that's a crucial goal, just trying to shift a bit of the momentum here and to get Garland involved in the game too. He's obviously a very important player for the Roos, and they need him to get his hands on the footy, so hopefully he'll get a bit more good service like that.
It's really the first clean look he's had at it inside 50, and again it was a nice entry from Clarence and opened up the opportunity. So that breathes a little bit of life into Clarence this afternoon. Wall wrapped up in a tackle. Franklin does really well to keep the ball pushing forward. Marlin handballs over the top. Umpire's whistle. Advantage hasn't been paid. So go back to Nat Franklin, who's been busy. Back to Ned Shaw. He goes wide to Sutton. He's got Hooker on short. Blackburn's presenting once again. He opts to go wider still to Magro. With the shift of the goalpost since the last AFL game. He'll be kicking from just outside 50. Does have a good kick on him, Jaden Magro, but you think this would take some of his best work. Magro launches towards goal, always looking to the left-hand side. Players fly, the mark's taken by Blackburn. No, umpire says play on. Nicky Blackburn is running hot at the moment, Dooley.
I'm sure he'd reeled that one in, and would have been one of the marks of the season so far, I think, right on the goal line, but lucky there.
Swinton kicks in the direction of Garland, who takes a strong plunk. Garland inboard and finds James Holmes. Holmes kicks it into the backside of his teammate, Liam Howard. Eventually gets to his intended target. Now the Roos complete the switch. Pre-short. Chipping towards half forward. Nice defensive pressure there from the Bombers. Says it over and out for a throw in. Wall and Siggins compete in the ruck. Siggins wins it down. Ryan potentially taken high. The umpire says play on. Kicked inside 50 now for the Roos. McGuinness had his teammate supporting him. Eventually wrapped up in the tackle, though. It was McGuinness, and the umpire will take it once again. Garland and Siggins now. Garland wins it down. I reckon that's going to be a high contact free kick. It will be. Just waiting to see who's actually going to take the free kick. It is going to be James Holmes. So opportunity here for Clarence, and they're just starting to get a couple of looks at it.
I feel like they're starting to control the play a little bit more here. Still struggling a little bit to find those targets inside 50, but they're manufacturing shots and it could be enough.
So James Holmes, have a look. His first of the afternoon. They need this one, the Roos. Cut the margin back to 20 points. The kick's on the way. The umpire has to shuffle a fair way, but it's through. The umpire had to do quite a bit of work, but James Holmes kicks his first goal of the afternoon, and the Roos have two in a row.
Even the players look fairly uncertain there
Yeah.
the whole way through whether that one was going to go, but it snuck through, and that's all it needs to do. And suddenly Clarence, a couple of goals on the board, and we're hoping they can convert that into something a bit more substantial in the next few minutes before half-time.
So the game's just shifted slightly. We know that Lauderdale this year, Dooley, they have been known for, I suppose, some fade-outs in games, to be fair. So a couple of times this year they've led at three-quarter time and have let games slip. So they wouldn't want to let Clarence get into this game from here on out. It's 20 points of difference at the moment. In the middle of the ground, pre-short, handball's out wide, just misses a target. A kick off the ground is an interesting choice, but it's going to be a bit of a chaos ball now for the Clarence defenders. Hurried kick off the ground, bouncing towards the boundary line. Sutton tries to keep it in, but just runs out of tarmac. Over and out for a throw in. Wall wins it down, but only as far as Siggins. A great smother there by Preshaw. Desperate stuff. Wall, don't know how he disposed of the football. Play on. Preshaw now kicks it towards half forward for Clarence. Lauderdale suddenly having to do a lot of defending in this game. The mark's been spilled. Garland takes the football, is eventually tackled. Magnificent effort. I think that was young Ned Shaw, and that's exactly what Dan Willing would want from one of his young players, Dooley.
Yeah, they've brought plenty of heat today, haven't they? And that pretty much exemplifies it. As you say, exactly the sort of play that they want to see.
Shaw's kick in the direction of Siggins, eventually taken over and out. They're just needing to be on their toes, though, the Lauderdale defenders, the last couple of minutes. Clarence starting to move the ball with a lot more intent. 2-5-17, trail Lauderdale 5-7-37. After just one goal in the opening term, we've started to see some scoreboard impact, I should say. Fife gets the handball out, eventually gets to Franklin. Franklin to Sutton. Sutton to Williams. Now Lauderdale go inside 50 once again. Swinton does really well, coming across the front of the contest. Punches towards the boundary line. Norton got the handball free. The umpire says that was an illegal disposal. Pays the advantage. Lauderdale would want that moment again, I dare say. Great strength shown there by Preshaw, but it's a dangerous kick. The mark's not quite taken by Hooker, but Lauderdale are in a dangerous position. Walsh swoops in on the football. He's been tackled. We'll have a stoppage inside attacking 50, and I've seen that a few times today, that trying to probably take on a kick that's a little too dangerous across goal.
Yeah, it's been a positive for Lauderdale at times, sort of that free-flowing, really attacking play, but it's not always going to come off if you try to push the boundary a little bit too far.
Harper can't quite trap the football under his spell. Handball eventually finds Walsh. Bryce Walsh chips in the direction of Blackburn. Too hot for him, over his head. Nice, really, a bit of roving there. The shot's on goal from Tilly. Sam Tilly thought the ball was going to be just out of his reach, but he reined it in. And difficult angle, made no mistake.
He's had a really good game, I think, Tilly, hasn't he? He's had an impact in some of those contested sort of situations further up the ground, and it's a fantastic finish from the tight angle there after winning the ball, as you say. Such
an impressive young player, Sam Tilly, and I guess one of this new brigade at Lauderdale. We've seen for so long they've had this almost a generation of players in McGuinness and Walsh and Sutton, Franklin, Bellchambers, Siggins, and now we've kind of got this new brigade coming through at Lauderdale with guys like Tilly and the Shaw brothers, Ben Steinbauer and Josh Williams as well. Sam Tilly hits the scoreboard in style on that occasion. Just gives Lauderdale a handy buffer. 2-5-17 Clarence, trail Lauderdale 6-7-43. Get you to give us a score update from North Hobart Oval shortly as well, DALY. So here at Blundstone in the middle of the ground, probably going to have a third or fourth stoppage in a row. The umpire wants to try and get this ball moving, and Siggins does just that. Handballs it out wide. Now they're going to be off. Sutton chips in the direction of that goal kicker Tilly, who just spills the mark, able to regain his composure and win the football again. Great strength shown by Tilly. Waited for the runner to come, but Clarence tackling well. Williams chips the ball towards half forward. Flying high was Fife, unable to rein it in. Clarence with the numbers at ground level as Fisher kicks it out of defensive 50. Over and out for a throw in.
At North Hobart Oval, it's the Tigers building themselves a handy buffer. They lead 5 goals 11-41 to North Hobart, 2 goals 5-17. So they've been in good form lately, the Tigers, and on track for another potentially impressive win there.
And they'll be buoyed by North Launceston going down last night as well, although it means Launceston edge a bit further atop the ladder. It means that Kingbrook can further solidify second spot this afternoon with a win there. That's a good mark taken by Swinton. He's been a really bright spot for them across half-back.
Absolutely. They've needed someone to cut out a lot of these attacks from the Bombers, and he's been the one to do it on a lot of occasions.
Ball goes over and out. So Clarence have certainly looked better across the second half of this quarter, but Tilly goal just takes a bit of their momentum. Pye throws it in. Siggins taps it down. A few party tricks there from Magro. Ball massage towards half forward. Brave effort there from Sutton. I reckon he's been taken by the player's legs, and the Clarence player's down as well. I think that might be Swinton. That was a nasty looking incident. Swinton just checking in on Sutton. As the trainers come out to check on that, the umpire's going to call a stop to play. That was really brave stuff from both players. Good to see them both on their feet, but that was a really nasty incident.
One of those collisions that you can just see coming, can't you? Because both players are so committed to going for the ball. As you say, good to see both players involved up on their feet and moving too much assistance, but still a nasty collision.
I have said something. I think it is actually Dylan Fife there from Lauderdale who's in the arms of the trainers, so we'll keep an eye on him. Hopefully he's okay. Meanwhile in play, Clarence have the ball just outside 50. Hope pumps it in long in the Colin Garland direction. Garland at the back of the pack, unable to take the mark. It's going to open in the runners though. Flying shot on goal, it's through! Clarence hit the scoreboard. A really nice finish there from Burgess. And the Roos just starting to apply some scoreboard pressure. They kick their third, 3-5-23. Trail Lauderdale 6-7-43. It's back to a 20-point margin.
As you said a moment ago, Clarence felt like they'd steadied a bit in the general play this quarter, but still continued to fall further behind on the scoreboard. So I'm sure they would feel like that was some well-deserved reward there, and just managed to pull that margin back a little bit as we approach half-time here, and in that sort of range now, 20 points behind where they can really make something happen in the second half. See if they can sneak another one in here before the break. Siggins again wins the tap down nicely to a teammate, but it's Clarence who'll win the clearance and send the ball forward. Contest on halfway here, clean pick up there, wheels and goes. Can't quite take it cleanly, but Garland stealing it away and giving the handball off. Flying shot from the boundary. That is a fantastic goal there for the Roos. Ollie Preshaw, I think that is, from the impossible angle. Working it back off his wrong side. Suddenly, that could be the spark that gets Clarence back into this.
Just mentioned they kicked that. They worked really hard to get that goal that was immediately responded to by Sam Tilley. I thought their momentum might have been gone, but 2 goals in a space of a minute or so, including that absolute special. And suddenly Clarence are going to have their tails up heading into the break.
Certainly giving themselves a chance here, haven't they? It looked like they were in danger of falling out of this game, but really battled hard around the contest, and a little bit of magic there might be the key to send them on their way here as Siggins brings it down in the ruck again. He's been strong in there, but can't win the clearance away easily here. Plenty of bodies around the ball, and we'll have another ball up right in the centre circle. Block label, it's the Bombers who are going to come away with it. A big high up and under to the half-forward line. These are the numbers, but they can't win it cleanly. Bit of a scrum moving forward. Christensen wins it out, gives it off to Siggins. That one's going to drift towards the boundary line. Will be able to set up here, a throw in deep inside their forward pocket. Not be long left in the quarter here, but Lauderdale have given themselves a chance to add to their lead in the dying moments as the ball's thrown in. Scruffy kick out of the pack from Clarence there, and that one's going to be called a little bit out of bounds. Not sure it was deliberate, but certainly not intent to keep the ball in there. They'll be able to send it back in through Bryce Walsh. He sits it up right into the pocket there. Pack of players waiting. Good flight at the back for the Bombers, but it's spoiled over the line and out.
Just about to tick over the half-hour mark of the second quarter. Lauderdale in front, but this game certainly has a lot more on it than it did a few moments ago. Dooley, dangerous ball here late in the quarter. Preshaw tries to kick it off the ground. Reinforcements coming at ground level. Another stoppage. It's thrown up. Just tries to get it out. Wiley, I should say. Gets the handball out wide. It's going to be a big ball to win. It's punched over and out. Throw in. So Clarence just buzzing about a little more. There's a little more voice. Spring in their step. Thrown in. Siggins and Wall go head to head. Siggins wins it down. Hooker's going to be first to it. Potentially taken higher. The umpire says he ducked the head. Probably a good call from the umpire on that occasion. Dylan Howlett doing the tackling. scruff off the ball between Marlon and Preshaw. Umpire lets it go. Ball's thrown in. Stoppage just on the sponsorship sign here, broadcast side of the ground. As Preshaw and Marlon continue to exchange a couple of pleasantries. Siggins unable to get the hand down. Marlon wrapped up in a strong tackle as the siren sounds. And what was a very entertaining second quarter of football, and tempers just starting to flare over a little bit here, Dooley. This isn't what you want to see. Umpire's trying to get control of it. You can see quite a bit going on.
It's been a really hard-fought game, hasn't it? This is the first time we've really seen it boil over into anything more than just good hard play on the footy.
It's interesting, Coach Dan Willing during the week was asked about the rivalry between the two clubs and said it had probably gone from being a rivalry of real fire and axe to probably one of healthy respect, with a lot of the players going to school together and being good mates. And you can just see how much this game means to both outfits, though. Tempers boiling over. The halftime siren. It's Lauderdale 6-7-43, leading Clarence 4-5-29. We have a game on our hands, Jacob Dool. This second half should be a cracker.
Yeah, I think that little scuffle speaks to the fact that both teams feel like Clarence have kept themselves in this game. Feel like they might drop out of the contest for a while there, but well and truly up for grabs as we head into halftime here.
Quickly go through the goal kickers from either side. For Lauderdale, Michael Blackburn has 3 singles to Sam Siggins, Jaden Magro and Sam Tilley. For Clarence, we've got 4 individual goal kickers, James Holmes, Colin Garland, Harry Burgess and also Ollie Preshaw. So half-time here in the Speak Up Stay Chatty Cup between Lauderdale and Clarence, Eastern Shore rivals. We have a good game of footy on our hands. It's the Roos trailing 4-5-29 to Lauderdale 6-7-43. We'll take a break for half-time. Second half coming up next. Yes, that's
Tell
very
him rain in a bit.
That's a good point. Hello and welcome back to Blundstone Arena, round 10 TSL football, the Up Stay Chatty Cup between the Clarence Roos and the Lauderdale Bombers. It's the Lauderdale Bombers leading at the main change, 6-7-43 to Clarence 4-5-29. And DALY, after an opening quarter that saw just the one goal, it was goals galore in the second, with 9 goals being kicked. And Clarence, the latter half of that second term, really breathed some life into the contest.
Yeah, the game definitely started to open up after that quarter-time break, and it looked like that was going to favour the Bombers for a lot of that second quarter, but Clarence, to their credit, have done well to drag themselves back into this game with a few late goals, and they're definitely not out of it here, are they?
Certainly not, no. They were able to respond to, even after kicking a couple of goals in a row, and Lauderdale getting on the other way, they responded again. They've set things up for a really entertaining second half of football as the umpire throws the ball to begin this second half. Crunching tackle, holding the football as the umpire's call, and Clarence, once again, they're going to get the clearance. That kick goes in and slips through the hands of the Clarence player, McGuinness. Dishes it off to Marlin, around the corner from Marlin, a little too hot for Siggins. Now competes with Sam Green, a crunching tackle from Siggins, and the umpire will take it once again. Siggins and Green matchup. It's been entertaining all afternoon. It'll again be crucial in this second half as Siggins takes the ball himself, kicks it around the corner. First to it was going to be Hooker. He was pushed off the footy. Eventually gets the kick over the top, just Fletcher Hooker. Bryce Walsh looking the other way, competes manfully at ground level, does really well. Gets it off to Nat Franklin, who kicks it inside 50. Magro unable to wheel in the mark, but he's going to run into goal. Jaden Magro! The Bombers draw first blood in the second half, and it's through that man again, Jaden Magro.
You have to wonder what's happened there with the Clarence defence so early in the quarter. Magro seemingly just on his own at the edge of 50 there and ran into a 2-on-1 numbers advantage, and I think the defender couldn't really do anything to stop him. So a little bit of a disappointing start for the Roos there, but for the Bombers, that's exactly what they wanted as they look to try and pull away once again. Yeah,
fantastic work there from Lauderdale, and again Bryce Walsh heavily involved across half forward. He didn't get the ball cleanly the first time, but continued to scrap at ground level, broke free and set up that opportunity. Clarence looking to get a quick response, but Siggins gets the clearance out to Marlin. High up and under from Leonard Marlin. It's not quite taken, but Sutton's first to the football on the outer side. He kicks it inside 50. Christensen's going to be first to the football. Going to keep it in play. Just kicks it along the ground. Waits for the runner. Magro again! A fantastic finish. Jaden Magro goes with the round ball version. Kicks the ball off the ground. Kicks it through. He's got 2 in a minute. And Lauderdale kick away.
Not the first time we've seen Magro really just rip the contest away from a team, is it? He's had some really impressive bursts of football this season, and looking like he's on for a big second half here as well. That's
his third goal of the afternoon. Only played 2 minutes and 20 seconds in this second half, and he's already got 2 goals in the second term. He is running hot at the moment, Jaden Magro. Clarence been set a real task early in the second half. Another umpire's whistle is going to go the way of Lauderdale. Sam Tilley is going to take it. Nat Franklin, I should say. He dishes it off to Josh McGuinness. McGuinness kicks it inside 50 for the Bombers. Bryce Walsh is there. Blackburn at the back. Neither player able to take it. Paprotny hassled over the boundary line by Bryce Walsh for a throw-in. Just looking at a couple of these matchups start the term. Looks like Kingston has Wade Wall. Ned Shaw playing on Holly Preshaw. That's a big matchup as we go into the second half. Hooker overruns the football. Walsh and Paprotny for company, but got it out. Marlin eventually it's seen over and out for a throw-in. Siggins and Green duel again. Siggins takes it himself, dances around one. Sam Siggins just gets the belly of the ball. It's a high ball to a dangerous spot. Running back was the Lauderdale player, unable to take the grab. I think it was Richmond. Clarence now competing at ground level. take it. Gee, Siggins looks dangerous when he takes that ball out of the ruck, Dooley.
Absolutely. He's really had a massive impact across the ground, but inside 50 at those stoppages, he looks like he could be on for another goal here.
Green taps it down. Magro to Christensen, who weaves his way through traffic. Alan Christensen, take a bow. Vintage work there from Alan Christensen, the former Geelong Cat and Brisbane Lion. Just shows a bit of class inside 50.
Yeah, and that is just a classy play, isn't it? We've spoken at times about how both teams have been left to scrap at ground level, but even though it wasn't a clean mark inside 50 or set shot, that was about as clean a goal as you'll see.
Just seemed to find that pocket of space when really shouldn't have had any right to find a pocket of space. It was expertly done, and we've only played 5 minutes of football here, and this game has been broken wide open. Christensen jumps on the goal kickers list for the first time this afternoon, and suddenly the Roos have a serious problem. 4-5-29, trailing Lauderdale 9-7-61. Protney back to Norton. Norton kicks out wide. Harper has the ball taken out of his grip illegally by Tilly. The mark's been paid. So Jared Harper, Clarence skipper, for the lead from the front in this second half to get the Roos back in this game. He kicks it down to Garland, who's unable to take the mark. Preshaw of the Jack variety finds himself a bit of space. Flying shot on goal from Preshaw right to the goal line. Through for a minor score. So 31-point difference here at Blundstone Arena. Early doors, third quarter. It's Stanley playing down back this afternoon. Brings the ball back into play, and it's punched over by Sam Green for a throw in. Day for footy here at Blundstone Arena. So the shadows start to form over the ground. Certainly chilly up where we are, but the sun's still bathing much of the ground as Harper thrust over the boundary line for a throw in.
This feels like a good sign for Clarence to be able to just slow the play a little bit out on that far wing, but at some point they're going to have to find a way to convert that into some forward momentum.
We've seen Lauderdale break away from stoppages this part of the ground multiple times this afternoon. Howlett taken over the boundary line, and there's just a tackle pressure being applied here by Lauderdale. We saw tempers flaring, a half-time siren from both sides, and it seems like Lauderdale, the team that has come out breathing fire. Thrown in once again. Siggins takes it himself. He's tackled as he tries to get rid of the football. Franklin does really well weaving through traffic. Handball over the top. McGuinness met by a strong tackle. The umpire will take it. Crunching effort there from Jack Preshaw, who started to get his hands on the football last minute or so, Jack Preshaw, and they do look to be a more dangerous side when he and Baxter Norton and Jared Harper are able to get themselves involved in the contest. Harper overruns it on that occasion. Baxter Norton, speaking of the devil, kicks it inside 50 now for the Roos. Ned Shaw flies back. Garland had two to beat, and he was illegally dealt with. So Colin Garland wheels around the corner, kicks the goal. That's the one the Roos needed. Garland kicks his second of the afternoon. Clarence is fifth for the day. 5-6-36. Trail Lauderdale 9-7-61.
No surprise that it's Garland inside 50 stepping up to make a difference here for Clarence. But as you say, some of those players further up the ground. Baxter Norton with a really nice kick into the pocket there. Players like that are going to have to step up here if they want to claw their way back into the game, and that's a really good start if they're going to do so. Yeah, when you've got a guy like Colin Garland there, Dooley, and you've got two defenders hanging off him, he's going to draw that attention. He's going to draw those free kicks because he just gives you so many problems and so many headaches, and capitalises on that occasion. That could be the circuit breaker now for the Roos. Umpire will take it in the middle of the ground. Keegan Ryan looks like he's been thrown on ball as well. Siggins just double fists it down. Umpire's whistle. Free kick going the way of Baxter Norton. Christensen shuffles back on the mark as Norton drives it inside 50 again. Garland taps it down in front. Clever tap. Trent Hope's first to the football. Good handball out wide. Brings in Keegan Ryan on his left. Just kicks the belly of the ball. It's still in play though. And Colin Garland takes the mark.
Wheels around the corner, Colin Garland, and he misses. That's a huge let-off for the Lauderdale Football Club. Colin Garland running hot. Just kills the ball a little too far. He kicked those 99 times out of 100. A massive let-off. Lauderdale bring the ball out of defence. Williams goes back to Stanley. Stanley has a couple of players out wide. They raffle it between themselves. Good kick on the left there. Finds Blackburn, who's probably faded out a little bit since early in the second quarter. He kicks inside 50. Blackburn to Siggins. Beautiful football there from Lauderdale. Sam Siggins. Slight angle. Have a look for goal.
And this just makes that missed opportunity at the other end hurt even more, doesn't it? As I say, Garland would expect himself to kick that goal. In fairly close, and with the miss, you give Lauderdale the opportunity to rebound, and Siggins will look to punish them here.
Sam Siggins crosses the paint of 50. Looking for his second goal of the afternoon. Umpire has to do a fair bit of work, and a little too much in the end. Missing to the right-hand side. 9-8-62. Lead Clarence 5-7-37. Clarence bring the ball out of defence. Players flying high. Steinbauer unable to take the mark. Howlett lays a tackle. Franklin awarded the free kick. Preshaw laying the tackle, I should say. Franklin kicking halfway from goal. Does well. Dances around Preshaw. Now sets it up. Nat Franklin. Where are the flyers? Siggins at the back of the pack. Unable to impact it. Clarence doing well through hands. Burgess chips the ball out wide. Ball back inboard to Swinton. The umpire says play on. So Swinton finds Corey Lovell. Broadcast side of the ground. Lovell takes a second bounce. Eventually gets his kick away inside 50 in the Garland direction. Cracking grab from Colin Garland. Nice work there from Corey Lovell. Didn't just blaze away. He weighted the kick really well, did the youngster. Now Colin Garland is running hot the last few minutes. Kick from just inside the paint of 50. Has 2 goals this afternoon. Looking for goal number 3. Colin Garland sets it up. Misses it to the right-hand side. He's starting to look really threatening though, isn't he, Jacob? He's really becoming quite the presence up there for them.
Definitely. Once again, he was in among 3 defenders there when he took that mark, so he's drawing a lot of attention, and regardless of whether he's the one who continues to take the marks at the end, it's going to open up avenues for other people to have some chances at goal.
So Lauderdale just moving the ball around. McGuinness has in a defensive 50. Handball's off, sets his teammate up. A bit of a task. Stanley was up to it, gets it back to McGuinness. McGuinness finds Fletcher Hooker, and now Lauderdale, they're off to the races. Hooker kicks it to half forward. Blackburn takes the mark. Blackburn wheels and goes, kicks it inside 50. Siggins may have been the intended target. A little too hot for him. Smart little tap on there by Christensen. Wiley takes the football, kicks it towards the boundary line. Over and out. Couple of pleas for deliberate, but the umpire says a throw in. Love that little tap on from Alan Christensen there. Didn't result in the goal, but just so dangerous with him inside 50.
Yeah, it was a really smart play from him. And between Christensen and Magro, you've got some players inside that attacking 50 who can really make something out of nothing.
Ball's thrown back into play. Decisively one down by Wall, but straight back to the boundary line. Rinse and repeat. Broadcast side of the ground. One player I haven't seen so far this term, Dooley, is Dylan Fife, who looked to go off after that brave effort late in the second term. So we'll keep an eye on that as the quarter unfolds. Harper, nice little blind turn from Harper, but is disposed of. Harry Richmond with a crunching tackle right on the paint of 50. Richmond Sets the ball up in the Siggins direction. A little too hot for him, but he's going to get a free kick. A push in the back. Sam Siggins. Siggins, Christensen, Blackburn and Magro really causing some headaches for the Clarence defence. And now Sam Siggins, who missed a shot on goal from almost an identical position just a minute or two ago, will have another look at his second goal of the afternoon. A little closer to goal on this occasion, Sam Siggins will be kicking from 38 metres out. The kick's on the way from Siggins, and this time he tugs it to the left-hand side. Through for a minor score. 9-9-63. Plays 5-8-38.
I knew coming in that Siggins and Garland would be, at least at times at either end of the ground, having a big impact, and they're both getting their hands on the ball, but it'll just be a matter of who can find the radar first.
Yeah, between the two of them, 3 goals between them, 2 to Garland, 1 to Siggins, but a lot of missed opportunities in there as well. Walsh and Franklin taps it back. Stanley had a couple to beat, did well. Marlin was disposed of the footy by Ryan. Umpire Geeson take it back, one of the best in the business, Nathan Geeson. Sutton around the corner. Taking the ball on that occasion was Tremaine. High tackle has been paid, so the free kick going the way of Harry Fisher. Fisher down the line. Wade Walls there coming in, but Reece Sutton floats in front, takes the mark. He's been as good as always, Reece Sutton. Such a dependable player on the wing. He kicks out wide in the Nick Hooker direction. He's had the ball punched away from him by Jack Barwick. Just got myself confused with the man bun and the sleeve tattoo. It was Harry Burgess on that occasion doing the intercepting. So Wade Wall's kick in the direction of Hope. Sutton scrapping away at ground level. Somehow the ball lands in the arms of Tilly, who shows a bit of dash. Tilly screws one around the corner. Fletcher Hooker first to the football. Handball's out, but it's been picked by Harry Fisher. He kicks to space. Sam Green, the intended target. He's got a couple to beat Green, but coming in at pace was Kieran Howlett. He does really well. Howlett inside 50, piercing ball, finds Jared Harper. Really nice work there by firstly Sam Green and then Kieran Howlett. Attack the ball at pace, and Clarence skipper Jared Harper have a look for goal, tied up in the pocket.
It's a tough shot here from really right on that boundary line, but a player like Jared Harper, you wouldn't put it past him, would you?
No, he's been a rock solid player for a long period of time. He's really stepped up the last couple of years, Jared Harper. The shot's on the way, always to the right hand side. Through for a minor score. So back to a 4-goal buffer. Pressure now, though, for the Lauderdale defence. Harper somehow got rid of the football. Clarence just surging the ball towards the boundary line. Lauderdale will be pretty happy to see it go there as well. Over and out for a throw-in.
And that's what Clarence are going to have to do if they want to keep on dragging themselves back into this contest. It's not looking like it's going to happen from dominant possession or really clean attacking play. They might just have to bring some pressure inside 50 and try to create goals that way.
Green takes the ball out of the ruck. It's immediately tackled. The umpire will take it once more. Kingborough still in front at North Hobart, 8-12-60 to 6-6-42. Game just tightened up a little bit there. Clever tap over the top. Flying shot. Almost goal kept there by the Lauderdale defence. It was opportunistic play by, I think it was Ryan, but nice work from the Lauderdale defenders. Christensen urged to play on. He screws one around the body. Swinton just unable to reel the mark in. Over and out for a throw-in. Swinton, certainly one of the standouts for Clarence this afternoon across half-back. So he just comes back of this contest here as Wall punches it to space. Hooker eventually gets it out to Tilly. Tilly kicks to a dangerous spot. First to the football is going to be Tremaine. Great pressure here from Jaden Magro. Swinton handballs out wide to Wiley. Wiley trips it down the line, hopes the intended target. A little too hot for him. And a couple to beat, Stanley being one of them. Mops up his own work, Ed Stanley. Excellent work from him. Wade Wall, not sure how he got rid of the football, but I think the umpire was on the wrong side. Hooker tackled. The umpire eventually takes it again. I think Wade Wall was probably lucky that he's facing the opposite direction to the umpire on that occasion. Game's been well officiated so far this afternoon. Siggins taps it. Walsh unable to keep it in. Over and out for a throw-in.
It's been interesting the way this game's flowed, hasn't it? It feels like we've had really long stretches like this where it's all been stuck around the contest and then one team will just break it open for a short burst. So it'll be interesting to see which team can get on top next.
A while between goals now. Marlin with a really clever kick out of the contest. Richmond over his head. Christensen has Holmes for company. Not sure how Wiley got rid of the football there. Might have been punched out of his arms by Richmond. Christensen in the end just tunnel balls it over and out for a throw-in. Tell you what, James Holmes and Jaden Magro at the moment, Dooley, a one-on-one inside Lauderdale's attacking 50. That's a box office sort of matchup, I reckon. Holmes and Magro. Just two competitive beasts. It looks like, yeah, Peter Ryan happy to put James Holmes back into defence this afternoon. He's been thrown around into a number of positions this year. Shallow throw in. Umpire will do it once again.
Can't imagine being matched up on Jaden Magro inside 51 out is a fun place to be, but he's certainly someone who's up to the job.
Ball's thrown in. Siggins tries to corral it down to Franklin. Sutton emerges with the football. It just gets an interesting barrel-looking kick out of the contest. Tremaine is going to be first to it. He started to get himself involved in the contest. He goes to Green. It's well smothered by Hooker. Clarence under immense pressure at the moment. It's been a push in the back. Free kick going the way of the Roos. Free kick going the way of Harry Burgess. Looking really static for him at the moment. He's just going to have to go down the line. Goes really wide, does Burgess. Swinton right on the boundary line. And the call is touched over and out. So a really wide ball. Just in front of us in the broadcast position. 22 minutes gone. Absorbing game of football. 5-9-39 plays 9-9-63. Siggins takes it himself. Handballs over the top to Walsh. Walsh handballs to space. Sutton meets it well. He goes off to Sawford, who kicks it well. Sawford finds Mickey Blackburn. Walsh to Sutton to Sawford to Blackburn. That's excellent footy from the Lauderdale Bombers, and that's the second time that young Jacob Sawford, who made his debut only a week or two ago, has been able to find a target inside 50. He looks to be a really exciting prospect.
Yeah, I think that might have been the best passage of play of the day, and Sawford finishing it off beautifully to find Blackburn on his chest there. And he's made things happen inside 50, hasn't he, Blackburn? And we'll see if he can finish this one off.
Michael Blackburn, 3 goals to his name so far this afternoon. Begins his approach on goal. Mickey Blackburn sneaks it home. Tell you what, he likes that too, and he just sends a message to the Clarence members. Blackburn kicks his 4th, and Lauderdale break the deadlock. We've had a fair period of time between goals. Mickey Blackburn breaks that drought, kicks his 4th goal, and I have to say, we just talked about that passage of play. How good was the handball out into space? That I think it was Walsh out to Sutton. It was just the perfect handball to the voice, and Sutton made no mistake getting out to Sawford, who found Blackburn. That was really good football from the Lauderdale Bombers.
Yeah, from where I was, you could see an open man for Walsh out on the wing, and he didn't even have time to look, and then by the time he gave it off, he found someone else out in space. So really clean play there for the Bombers, and it ends with a goal.
Siggins takes it himself. Don't know how he got rid of the football. He didn't in the end. So free kick going the way of Preshaw. Clarence needing to get a bit of a move on. They kick it inside 50. Garland taps it back into play. Lauderdale trying to emerge with the ball by hands. They do a really good job, but the last handball is a little too hot for Siggins. That opens the door now for the Roos. Kicking to a dangerous spot. Preshaw's there, unable to take the mark cleanly. Some goal line defensive work. As the umpires consult with one another. Clarence are claiming it's a goal. The umpire says it is. Confusion reigns on the goal line, but the Roos, I suppose it doesn't matter how you get them, Dooley. It just matters if you get them, and they get a really important goal.
Yeah, that, again, not quite textbook, was it? But definitely needed that goal on the board. Lauderdale players for a moment there didn't seem too happy with the call from the goal umpire, but I also don't think the player who blocked it on the line had any idea what had happened until it hit him. So
I'll get you to call this bounce here, Dooley. I'm going to consult the screen to try and work out who actually kicked that goal.
So look to build on that now and get some momentum here out of the middle, but it's Siggins again who wins it down towards Walsh. Scrapping for the ball out towards the edge of the square, and it's Clarence who come away with it. Sending inside 50 once again. Sneak out the back here. High up and under towards the forward pocket there. Is that going to drift out of bounds? No. I thought that was going to be a mark paid there, but hands on the ball before it drifted out of bounds, but not long enough to take the mark.
I've consulted the play. It was an Ollie Preshaw goal, Dooley. It really was goal line technology sort of stuff to work out if that was a goal, but got to back the umpire in. A free kick now going the way of the Roos, Colin Garland. And just a bit of a momentum shift in the last couple of minutes here. I guess Clarence have had a lucky break, and now they'll look to try and kick two in a hurry.
Felt like they needed it before the end of this quarter, didn't you? That 30-point lead going into the last break felt like it almost might be too much with the way this game's tracked, but if they can kick their second goal in quick succession here, they'll be right back in this.
Colin Garland looking at the big sticks, hits the post. He's had his opportunities today, Colin Garland. He's certainly impressed, but just not quite finishing the work on through for a minor score. So 6-10 plays 10-9. Almost 27 minutes gone in this entertaining third quarter of football. Preshaw merges with the footy. Kicks it to a dangerous spot. It's going to be right up against the line. Garland keeps it in play. He's got Harper there for support. Funnels the ball back, but Josh Williams swoops on the footy for Lauderdale. Kicks it out of defensive 50. It's going to come back with interest potentially. Nice kick in board. It's a good one. Spots up a teammate there. I think that is Preshaw. Ojan to play on, kicks it to a dangerous spot. Waiting for the Flyers. It's punched, but there's going to be a free kick. It's going to go back the way of Lauderdale. So Bryce Walsh will take the free kick. I didn't actually see that one, Dooley. I'm not too sure what it was, but it was in a dangerous spot. So that's a real let-off for the Lauderdale defence.
Clarence looked like they were just starting to build a bit of pressure with those repeat entries, but what's happened off the ball there has let the Bombers off the hook a little bit, and they'll rebound down the wing now.
Down the line they go. Ball attracts plenty of interest from players of both sides, and it will be a stoppage. And 23 points the difference. Felt like when Magro went on his little spree at the start of the quarter that the game was probably a kick away from being taken away from Clarence, and done well just to hang in there. 23 points the difference, certainly not insurmountable. And they've got an opportunity here as Baxter Norton runs down half forward on the opposing side of the ground. His kick is bravely marked. Courageous grab there. That was Stanley once again. He's had an impressive game. I haven't seen him play a lot of defensive work before, but the siren sounds for three-quarter time. Clarence, 6-10-46. They trail Lauderdale 10-9 at 69 entertaining game of football underway here at Blundstone Arena, and although Lauderdale have a handy lead, this game is still up for winning.
Absolutely. That feels like the story of the game where Lauderdale have looked like they're just about to take the contest away from Clarence, and then the Roos have done just enough to hit back. So once again, heading into this break, they've kept themselves within 4 goals, and it feels like that's close enough for them to make a bit of a run in the last quarter.
Absolutely, an entertaining quarter that started with some Magro fireworks. You can see Colin Garland just having a few words with the umpires in the middle of the ground, seeking a bit of clarification. But we'll quickly run through the goal kickers. Mickey Blackburn has 4 for Lauderdale. Magro has 3. Singles to Tilly, Christensen and Siggins. On for Clarence, Colin Garland has 2. Ollie Preshaw also has 2. Singles to James Holmes and Harry Burgess. So we'll take a short break here on the Daily Potato Co. TSL live stream. Final quarter of this Speak Up Stay Chatty Cup coming up next.
What's that?
Welcome back to Blundstone Arena. A big final quarter coming up in this round 10 Speak Up Stay Chatty Cup clash between Eastern Shore rivals Clarence and Lauderdale. The Bombers lead at 10-9, 69 to Clarence 6-10, 46, but a big final quarter coming up. Certainly not an insurmountable task for Clarence from here, but they're going to need to do a lot of things right. So we wait for the umpire to raise the ball aloft to begin this final quarter. 23 points the difference. Can Lauderdale jump back onto the winners list after a difficult fortnight? Clarence spoiled the party in this last quarter. Walsh attacks the ball hard. Clarence emerged with the football though. Christensen eventually caught. So big quarter coming up. DALY. Guess we've talked about it a couple of times. Clarence just really going to have to make the most of any opportunities they can muster from here.
Absolutely, and they'll have to make sure someone like Jaden Magro doesn't give Lauderdale the start that they got in the last quarter, because I feel like if that happens here, that's pretty much game over.
Green, half forward, gets the handball out wide. Linking up on a couple of occasions there was Ryan. Green, who just competes so well for a big man, drives the ball inside 50. Preshaw has the sit. Preshaw takes the mark. Oliver Preshaw has 2 goals to his name this afternoon. Just used his body really well there. Had the right position. He'll now look to kick his 3rd goal of the day and get the ideal start to this final term for his Clarence football side. Slight angle to work with here for Preshaw. The kick's on the way. The umpire does not move a muscle. And the Roos draw first blood in the final term. 7-10, 52. Lauderdale 10-9, 69. And that's the ideal start for Clarence.
Absolutely, and Preshaw, as you say, really smart work with his body there, and a smart kick into him as well. So he's been impressive today, hasn't he? And 3 goals on the board, and he might not be done yet.
Just love the efforts of Sam Green there, DALY. For a big man, he continued to compete at ground level and kicked the ball really well. And both of these ruckmen today, Green and Siggins, are such assets to their sides. They're both so versatile and able to play a multitude of different roles.
And I think in a game like we've had today, it's important, that follow-up work at ground level, because the clearance out of the centre hasn't always been clean. And so to have basically an extra midfielder working around the ball has really been a difference maker when both sides have been able to get on top. Let's get the ball to the edge of their 50 here. They're going to have a clean entry right into the goal square. Garland leaking out the back, but it's just spoiled away from him and through for a rush behind. Once again here, the momentum feels like it's swung, and it's really starting to mount a bit of a charge here. Lauderdale going to have to really lock in and try to slow the game down the way it's going. On the ball, way out to the wing, and there's a big fist at the back from Sam Siggins. Didn't want to leave that contest in any doubt. Andrew throwing right on the attacking 50 for Clarence. Here would see the Roos go back inside 50. They win the hit out, but can't quite win the ball cleanly. Doesn't look like they'll come away with it. It's a big barrel over the halfway line and down into their attacking half.
Umpire's whistle for holding. Free kick going the way of Clarence. So Holmes wins that duel with Magro. It's going to be an entertaining battle. Potentially a decisive battle across this final term. Jared Harper now with ball in hand. Look to get the switch going with Jared Harper. He sets the ball up. Sutton was attacking at pace. Paprotny quickly on the move. Paprotny kicks the ball up to half forward. What can Clarence do here? Probing ball to a dangerous spot just over the head of Trent Hope. Marlin just decides to paddle the ball in the direction of Siggins. It's immediately beset upon. Wade Wall runs into space. Wade Wall kicks to a dangerous spot. Punch through for a minor score. Got excited there, DALY. Saw the lumbering ruckman start to run towards the paint of 50, but in the end, through for a minor score. And you look at this, 7-12-54 to 10-9-69. Despite Lauderdale's dominance, we're up to even scoring shots.
And Clarence really doesn't feel like they've created that many chances, but the scoreboard says they have, and just need to start taking a few more of them here.
So Harper and Norton combine on that occasion. Ball massage down the line, bounces over and out for a throw in front of the Clarence members. So 15 points the difference. 5 minutes into the final term. Only Blackburn and Wiley are past the centre line at the moment. Ball kicks along the ground, just tumbles towards the wing. Great ball control from Norton. Gets the handball out. The kick goes inside 50 from Howard. Big ball to win here. Hope just slightly overruns it. He had Ben Steinbauer for company. Umpire will take it once again. Garland taps it down as far as Stanley, who's had a good game in defence. Brave mark running back with the fly. Excellent work there from Burgess, who quickly drives the ball inside 50. Umpire's whistle. Free kick. Going the way of Colin Garland. Drew the free kick for holding once again. Oscar Shaw, who's battled manfully this afternoon, penalised for holding Colin Garland, and Clarence Spearhead has a look for goal.
He's had a few chances in this game, hasn't he? Hasn't quite been able to find the radar, but he has a chance to kick a big one here.
Drop punt from Garland, just fades to the right-hand side. Through for a minor score. So Clarence, they're peppering the goalface at the moment, just unable to take full toll. 7-13-55, Lauderdale 10-9-69. Expected scores really in vogue when it comes to footy analysis these days, Dooley, and if we had those numbers here, I reckon Clarence's expected score, particularly in the second half, would be considerably high. Some really gettable opportunities have been missed as Christensen and Josh McGuinness link up. McGuinness's kick into the middle of the ground sets a bit of a task for Marlon. Great support coming through from Tilly. Love him as a player. Hooker. Nice smother there from the Clarence player in Barwick. Ball still live here for Lauderdale as Hooker kicks it inside 50. Unable to trap it. Coming back that way is Barwick. Eventually ends up with Paprotny. Paprotny kicks it out at offensive 50. Flying high was Ryan. Unable to take the mark, but he does well at ground level. Does Keegan Ryan. Has a player hot on his heels, but clever kick in the end. Brings Ollie Preshaw into the game. Preshaw off the ground. Only as far as his opponent. Hooker with the bright orange boots. Chips it down the line. Lauderdale done pretty well there, just to have the ball on the attacking side of the wing. Driving the ball inside 50 was Marlon. Players flying everywhere. Lots of players drawn in to this contest. Blackburn unable to take the ball cleanly. Magro's just ahead of this play. He's the only player forward of the stoppage. Blackburn's now sneaking back. Wiley going to man him. Of course, former Clarence teammates together. This ball's thrown up. Siggins unable to get a decisive hit out, but got the hit out nonetheless. Franklin merges with the football. Gets it out to Walsh. Bryce Walsh on an angle. Misses to the right-hand side. 10-10-70. Lead Clarence 7-13-55. 15-point margin. Maroons 3 goals adrift. Mark taken by Liam Howard, young Devils player, back in the red and white this afternoon. Howard goes down the line. Garland's there, and Garland takes the mark on the second grab. A good mark. Plenty of players around him, but he held firm as he wheels and goes. Kicks in the direction of Oliver. Preshaw at the back of the pack, unable to take the mark. Marlon merges with the football. Reinforcements come in for Clarence, and they'll draw a stoppage just on the paint of 50.
With Garland doing a lot of work up the ground there, really important for Preshaw to at least bring that ball to ground and give them a contest so Garland can get back into the play now.
Garland competes in the ruck, taps it over to Harper, who taps it on to Hope. Hope gets it back to Howlett. Howlett with a dinky handball inside 50, potentially taken high. He was. Jared Harper just outside 50, the Clarence captain. There's a couple of players presenting for him. One player in plenty of space there in Paprotny, but he opts to go a little bit closer to goal as Harper. Flying high was Preshaw. A ground level Paprotny. Desperate smother from Alan Christensen. Magnificent leadership from Christensen. The Clarence players plead for deliberate, but it will be a throw in. How about that smother from Christensen there, Dooley? Magnificent work from him.
It's a real highlight of his game, isn't it? His defensive work, and it's a certain goal if he doesn't get hands on that ball, so really desperate defending there.
Ball's thrown back into play. Garland competing in the ruck, takes it himself, unable to get the kick away cleanly. Hope got a foot to the football as well. Desperate stuff here. Coming through was Burgess. Coming the other way, the Lauderdale defenders having a flying shot on goal. Just missing there for Kieran Howlett. 7-14. Now the Roos, 56. They trail Lauderdale by 14 points.
Lauderdale really feels like they're stuck back on the ropes here. They just need to find something to break the flow of Clarence momentum.
That one isn't going to help for Lauderdale. Tremaine takes the mark, kicks it towards 50. It's punched over and out for a throw in. So interesting stuff here. 1-4 for the quarter for Clarence. Lauderdale one behind. Bombers just similar to the issues Clarence had earlier in the game, really. Just breaking down between half-back and the wing. Great pressure being applied from Clarence, and umpire's whistle. It's going to be a free kick going the way of Lauderdale, so Siggins to take the ball. Infringed with in the contest. He's got players streaming for him to Siggins. Opts just to hoist it down the line. Now the runners are here for Lauderdale. Christensen drives the ball inside 50. A bullet pass finds Blackburn. A little debate between the players to work out where the mark was, but Blackburn stops and settles, gets back into his routine. It's a meticulous routine. And it served him well this afternoon. 4 goals to his name. The former Clarence Rue and Lindisfarne 2 Blue, looking for his 5th of the afternoon.
I think that play tells a bit of a story, doesn't it? Clarence struggling to find a target inside 50 for a long stretch, and then Lauderdale really cleanly down the field and on the mark for Blackburn.
It's a great ball for Christensen to find Blackburn. Can Blackburn finish the transaction? He'll kick from the paint of 50. The kick's on the way. It's a high kick, won't quite make the distance, and it's punched into the behind post for a boundary throw-in. So, not the worst result for Lauderdale. Trap the ball inside, attacking 50. It's great work there from Christensen, lowering his eyes to find Blackburn, as it's now throwing it back into play. Dangerous ball here. Holmes competing at ground level for Clarence. There are so many players around that football. The umpire will take it. So a ball up right on the goal square. Crucial every contest is at this point of the game. Swinton. Handballs to Harper. Harper does well to keep it in play. Fantastic mark. Athletic prowess on full display by Oscar Shaw. Magnificent mask from Oscar Shaw. He gets it off to Stanley. Stanley feeds it back to Williams, who dances around one, weaves the other way and finds a target inside 50. And that's all started by Oscar Shaw. Such an athletic mark, and now Harry Richmond has the ball inside attacking 50.
Just finding ways to win the ball back out now as Clarence come out of defence. They find themselves stuck in defence themselves for a long period here, the Bombers, but they're locking it in attack now, and they've got another chance here.
Harry Richmond begins his approach on goal, always looking to be going to the right-hand side. That's exactly where it ends up. So 10-11-71. Lauderdale, they lead Clarence 7-14-56. Wiley, it's the short option. It's really static for them down the line. They have the option to take a risky switch. They instead decide to do that, go down the line. Siggins had the sit, takes the mark uncontested in the end. Siggins is going to take a risk and switch the ball off. It was a big ball to win, and Clarence do it. Garland first to the football. Handballs into space. Out in the direction of Barwick, who does really well, Jacques Barwick. Kicks it inside 50 now for the Roos. Preshaw flies, unable to take the mark. Lauderdale with numbers at ground level. Shaw links up with Williams, who scraps a kick towards Nat Franklin. Franklin to Walsh. Walsh to Hooker. He's been taken in a really strong tackle by Holmes, and it was a little overzealous there by James Holmes. The intention was there, but just a little clumsy. As Lauderdale now bring the ball inside, attacking 50. Tilly spills what he probably should have taken. Handballs it off to Blackburn. Mickey Blackburn kicks the goal and almost soccer style runs to the corner flag, points to the crowd, and he has a 5-pack. A fantastic performance from Mickey Blackburn this afternoon. Again, Lauderdale moving the ball really well. And Tilly dropped the mark but had the composure to find Mickey Blackburn.
I just feel like Clarence were caught on the hop a bit there. They thought they'd want a free kick in the middle and it went the other way. Quick entry from there for Lauderdale, just a lot of players in space. So Tilly, even though he dropped the mark, had time to run in, draw the defender and get the handball off to Blackburn for an easy goal.
So, bit of breathing room now for Lauderdale. 21 points the difference. Clarence are going to need to get a wriggle on quickly. Played just about 16 minutes in this final term. Siggins takes the ball himself, expertly done, just misses the handball. Nice work from Propotny, good awareness from him. Siggins does the mopping up though, gets it to Sutton. Sutton chips it in the direction of Christensen, who taps it over his head. Excellent work from Christensen. Brings Franklin into the game, flying shots. Tackled as he kicked the football. Misses to the right-hand side. Two points the difference. Out wide, a decisive punch there from Harry Richmond. Over the boundary line for a throw in. Every contest so crucial from here on out. 22 points the difference in favour of the visitors. Green wins the tap down, then does the tackle. Competed manfully this afternoon, Sam Green. Of course, Lauderdale desperately needing this win to stay in touch with the competition's top 4. While Clarence looking to solidify a spot within the 4. Christensen's kick is a high up and under. He's going to do the roving of his own work there, Christensen. Taken high in the tackle. Taking his time getting up there is the Clarence player. No surprise, it's James Holmes. So, Alan Christensen, very slow to his feet. He's forced to really earn that. He's got the ball just outside 50. There's one goal to his name so far this afternoon. This would take some of his best work. His goal earlier was vintage Christensen. What does the veteran do from here? He decides just to set it up, does Alan Christensen. Players fly from everywhere. Siggins does the roving. Siggins kicks the goal. And that may well be the sealer, Jacob Dool. Clarence have battled manfully, but Siggins kicks that one, opens up a really handy buffer. That's out to now 28 points. We played 18 minutes in the final term. Great game awareness there from Sam Siggins, who has been one of the better players on the ground today.
Definitely. He's had a massive impact in the middle of the ruck, and the fact that you can have a player of his size who can contest in the ruck, take a strong mark overhead, but also win the ball at ground level and finish one on the fly like that just speaks to why he's one of the most valuable players in the competition.
Some of Lauderdale's stars linking up on that occasion. Strong buffer now under Lauderdale's control as Sutton kicks it inside 50. It's a long ball inside 50 now. Great work at ground level. Flying shot on goal, missing. Like that from Salford. He hasn't had a stack of the football this afternoon, but he's done some really nice things and just be a real player of promise for them. It's Clarence. Bring the ball out of defensive 50. Gale on the target, unable to take the grab, but he does the work at ground level. Kicks it around the corner. Preshaw's there. Harper's there too, but Ned Shaw emerges with the football. Illegally disposed of it though. It's Harper takes the advantage. Kicks it inside 50. Wade Wall's been manhandled there, and he's going to get the free kick. McGuinness just holding on to Wall illegally. Wade Wall, who's been forced to spend most of the season to this point in the Development League, back in the senior side this afternoon. 45-degree angle. Everything Clarence do from here is really going to need to be perfect. A couple of Lauderdale players, fans, give some jeers from the bleachers as the kick is on the way from Wade Wall. Left to right, sneaks home. The Roos have a pulse, Jacob Dull, but as we just said before, everything they do from here is going to need to be essentially perfect.
They keep on just doing enough to keep themselves alive, but I feel like they might be leaving it a little bit too late here. They had their chances earlier in this quarter to make a bigger dent in this margin, but that goal brings it back to 23 points, and you can't quite rule them out yet.
20 and change gone in the final term. Clarence going to need some players to really take this game by the scruff of the throat. Marlin competing in the middle of the grounds. The free kick's going to go the way of Clarence, though. It's going to go the way of, I thought it might have been Jack Preshaw's free kick. In the end, it's going to be Keegan Ryan. Ryan opts for the short option, finds Kieran Howlett, who's been serviceable this afternoon. Howlett goes out wide. And the mark's taken, quickly moving the ball on now. Clarence driving it inside 50. Trent Hope at the back of the pack, almost pulls in the mark, doesn't quite do so. Lauderdale bring the ball out to Hooker. Hooker has Franklin streaming for him. Hooker's going to opt to take a dangerous ball and does it really well. That opens the ground up now. Siggins takes the mark, kicks it inside 50. Blackburn's there, unable to take the mark. Wiley tried to claim the mark, clearly had Blackburn's fingerprints all over it though, as Magro and Holmes compete at ground level. Blackburn just overruns the football, still scrapping away at ground level. Umpire says holding the footy. It's a free kick going the way of the Bombers. Couldn't quite see who was actually at the bottom of the pack there, Dooley, but great tackle pressure being applied by the Lauderdale Bombers as a few scruffles are also happening off the play on centre wing. Umpires just deliberating between themselves as to whether it's going to be downfield free kick or reversal or just where it is, or 50 metres. It's going to be 50 metres. So a difficult set shot becomes a mere formality, and well, Clarence certainly couldn't afford that, Dooley. That's probably, if Siggins' goal wasn't the sealer earlier, it's hard to see Clarence getting up from here. Regulation goal now for Sam Tilley. Makes no mistake. Lauderdale move to 13-13. Clarence 8-14. It's been a terrific afternoon for Sam Tilley. Kicks his second goal of the day.
Disappointing for Clarence to give away that goal in that manner. As you say, it was a tough set shot before the 50-metre penalty. Made it an easy one for Tilley, as we've now had a call off the ball here.
Yeah, some ill discipline really creeping in now for Clarence. It's going to be a free kick in the middle of the ground for Lauderdale. I don't know if it might have been against Colin Garland, perhaps. Yeah, so Sam Siggins is going to take the ball. He's had players streaming for him at the moment. There's confusion galore at this point. Stanley eventually gets the footy. He kicks it inside 50 and finds Franklin. Great football there from Lauderdale, capitalising on some ill discipline from the man in red and white. Nat Franklin. 45-degree angle, kicking from the paint of 50. This will take some of his best work. Some of his best work. Nat Franklin, take a bow. Every Lauderdale player swarms to Nat Franklin. And it's party time now for the Bombers, Jacob Dull.
They've done well, haven't they, Lauderdale, to kick some of some of those tougher set shots, and one from Franklin certainly fits into that category. And for Clarence here, it's just a matter of trying to calm things down. I know it wouldn't be front of mind at the moment, but you don't want this to turn into a percentage blowout, do you? When they've played some fairly good football, but Lauderdale suddenly looking really dangerous again every time they get the ball.
Yeah, I mean, blink of an eye, and all of a sudden it's back out to 35 points. It was 15 points seemingly only a couple of minutes ago. The game's just flipped on its head once again. Lauderdale just having more winners across the park. Harper. Handballs it back to Howlett. Howlett just with an up and under rainmaker, running back with the flight. The mark's not quite taken. Siggins gets it off to Marlin. Marlin to Magro. Magro to McGuinness. McGuinness to Siggins. Gee, you rally off those names. They've got such a good list, Lauderdale. I guess the question moving forward for them is, which Lauderdale team is the real Lauderdale? The team that's lost the last fortnight, or the team that wins this afternoon? Consistency is going to be a big key for them. Of course, they lost their first 3 games of the year, leading at three-quarter time in all of those games. Then they went on a real hot streak, including a win over Launceston. And then deliver some really flat performances against Kingborough and North Lonnie. Coach Dan Willing would just be trying to find the formula to get this team on track and consistent week in, week out.
And even within this game, we've seen a bit of that inconsistency, haven't we? There were long stretches, even though Clarence couldn't quite take full advantage, where Clarence looked like the better team. So even though this is going to be a comfortable win, I think there'd still be some things that Lauderdale would want to work on out of this.
Big ball to win. Ball is eventually won by Green. Barwick taken in a strong tackle by a couple of Bombers. Holding the football, says umpire Butler. I think you're spot on, Dooley, and I think the rocket that Dan Willing has obviously given his group in the last week, I think has worked. They've come out breathing fire today, and you've got to bring Hayden Smith and Luke Patton back into this team at one point as well. There are 2 big omissions this week. So that ball's chipped inside 50. Walsh is the target, unable to take the mark. Barwick. Handballs in the direction of Kieran Howlett, who does he keep the ball in? The umpire says he did. I thought that was definitely over and out, but the umpire made the call. Tremaine kicks it into the opposing pocket. Links up with Howard. Howard massages the ball over the top. Finds Fisher. Fisher down the line. It's cut off. Now Lauderdale are going to bring the ball back into an attacking position. Blackburn's the back of the pack. Blackburn flies. Unable to take the mark, and it'll be deemed as an unrealistic attempt.
I think this is the time of the game where you can take a flyer like that and not worry too much about giving away a free kick.
When you've got 5 goals under your belt as well, on your own old home patch, I think Nicky Blackburn will be pretty confident to do as he pleases from here. Swinton takes the mark. The umpire says it was in the field of play. Swinton, nice kick, finds Sam Green. Green. Positive kick in the middle of the ground. Well marked there by Jacques Barwick. Pushing it back. So thought he'd used his body quite well, but he did do it illegally. So well done there by young Jacob Salford to draw the free kick. Salford dishes it off to Magro. Magro kicks it inside 50. Back of the pack it spills. Back of the pack, and the goal is kicked. Lovely finish. Nat Franklin gets his second of the quarter, second of the game. Lauderdale, they cracked the ton. 15-13, 103 to the Roos. 8-14, 62.
Franklin's done a nice job of icing this game, hasn't he? Neither of those goals I think you could call regulation. That one on the run just did well to wrap his foot around it and get the bounce to go in his favour. This has really blown out quickly, hasn't it?
Certainly has. Yeah, all of a sudden we're looking at, what's that, 41 points. Game was on the line just 10 minutes ago. This is the explosiveness of this Lauderdale team. They can take a game away from you. We saw Magro do it at the start of the previous quarter. Now, collective effort doing it in the last. The kick inside 50, unable to be marked by Walsh. Players converge on the football. Have a stoppage. Siren sounds Fantastic performance by the Lauderdale Football Club. They retain the Speak Up, Stay Chatty Cup. Terrific performance from them to end this game. Lauderdale 15-13, 103. Defeat Clarence 8-14, 62. A final quarter that saw Clarence kick 2 goals 4 to Lauderdale 5 goals 4. So it was a quarter, the final quarter really owned by Clarence early, but Lauderdale really just took the game away from them.
Yeah, Clarence, felt like they were giving themselves every chance early in that fourth quarter, but put the points on the board, and then once they left the door open for Lauderdale to run away with it, Lauderdale really took full advantage and, as you mentioned, showed the firepower that they've got in this lineup. There's so many big names in there, and you can see how good they look when it all comes together. We've seen it at times this year. We'll certainly be hoping to show a bit more consistently, but this win's a good starting point. Fantastic performance from Lauderdale today. We'll quickly run through the goal kickers for Clarence. 3 to Ollie Preshaw, 2 to Colin Garland, singles to Harry Burgess, Wade Wall and James Holmes. While for Lauderdale, Mickey Blackburn led the way with 5, Jaden Magro with 3, Nat Franklin and Sam Tilley with 2 apiece, and a single to Alan Christensen. So 41-point win to the Lauderdale Bombers. They retain the Speak Up, Stay Chatty Cup. We'll find out in the next hour or so who won the medal for best on ground. We'll publicise that through the TSL social media accounts as the evening progresses. But Lauderdale, big winners in the Eastern Shore rivalry. 41 points. Thanks for being with us on the Daily Potato Co. TSL live stream. Thanks to Ash Wilkes back in the studio and Andrew McCarthy manning the camera today up in the gods at Blundstone Arena. Jacob Dool, thank you for your company as always. Thank you for joining us on the live stream. Lauderdale, big winners at Blundstone Arena. Bye for now.